Well, this might be a little bit silly to some people, but I have to record this moment because I'm about to turn the first wrench in my shop ever. I've got my high school truck, and now I've got my shop, and this is the very first toolbox that I bought. Anyway, it took me a little while. I kind of leapfrogged 2 pieces of wood and rolled this thing all the way over here. If you didn't remember, I can't lift heavy weight right now, and I'm about to have surgery in 2 days. So I was very, very careful to take my time to get this over here. The only thing it was 100 degrees when I did it. But my toolbox is here. All my stuff is here. Super happy to have that. Yeah, I gotta record the first wrench getting ever turned on the truck. So I'm excited about it. Let me get to it. Go. Well, I may not have explained what I'm doing today, or this weekend I should say, but we got to get this thing ready for Hot Rod Drag Week here in about 2 months. Just a little over 2 months, and since I'm going to be kind of down and out for a little bit, I need to get as much work done as I can. And the motor and transmission needs to come out of this thing. So I'll be pulling the motor and transmission out. Mostly the transmission because it needs to be rebuilt. It flares a little bit and it hesitates on the shift. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of... I bought it as a used transmission, $300. It needs to be gone through. And I think that that's going to really spicing up the truck, I guess you could say, or, you know. And get a little bit more ET into it, but also longevity and dependability. So I'm just gonna get to kind of working on this thing. There's a lot to do, but one of the main things that I'm gonna try to do today is I'm going to try to get the front end ready to come off. So like today, or this evening I should say, I'll probably just get everything ready for the front end to come off and kind of start taking some wiring and stuff off. And then tomorrow I'll have some help and finish up getting the motor out. So that's the plan over the weekend. And so I'm just gonna wrench a little bit tonight before I go to bed, and then yeah, we'll get started trying to take this thing out tomorrow. So as far as that goes, I'm just gonna be kind of removing some wiring and stuff, removing the cowl because there's 2 bolts under the fenders. And previously I've been able to take this this whole thing off before without any issue. The only thing is I might have to take the bumper off. I'm not 100% sure on that, so we'll find out tomorrow. I'm going to try to leave it as intact as possible, just because it's kind of for future reference. So let me get after it. I've been running around all morning getting a few things done, and so I think it's time to get ready to work on the truck. Couple things, I just pushed it back because I went to the hardware store and I bought this plastic sheathing because I want to try to protect my floor as much as I can right now until I'm able to coat it. But I don't have time to coat it and get this motor and trans out and ready for the transmission builder and so forth. So I think this might help for a little bit. It only cost me, I don't know, $10 for some tape and the plastic. I reinforced the corners, and yeah, it should help out. A friend of mine did this a long time ago when I helped pull the transmission out of his Colorado, and it seemed to work really good. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get to draining some fluids now and jacking it up and kind of getting after it. So I'll give you all an update in just a little bit. All right, I gotta share this with y'all real quick. I am changing the fluid, or I'm draining the fluid out of this trans, and this fluid looks amazing. You can see how clear and nice it is, and I think I was explaining that the truck was flaring, but I need to clarify that. It's flaring under full throttle during the passes, and it's, you know, not real drastic. So what I'm excited about is this cooler seems to be keeping that fluid nice and cool. It's time. We got everything ready. Got the truck pushed back some. Pretty sure we're going to lose some transmission fluid, but we're going to try to contain it as much as possible. Overall, it hasn't been too bad. I got a little bit of stuff in there, but we're ready to pull this dude out. So I'm going to try to do it without removing the engine crossmember, or sorry, the transmission crossmember. And I'm doing all this just to kind of see what it would have to, you know, what it'd be like to do if we had to do it on the road, like during one of the drag and drive events. So learning a lot. So we're just going to see what we can get done. Let's get after it. We got bad news. We got very bad news. So, getting ready to...
Leak. That's the bad news.
I don't think that's the bad news at
No?
all. No. No.
I kind of wish that was the bad news.
The bell housing has completely cracked on my transmission. Oh, it is leaking. I can hear it.
And leak beats.
And it's cracked on both sides. Where's this one at? I can't see it.
Where it's you got it. It's like this.
Yeah,
like that.
it's like that.
You got to see the angle. But it's there.
There's really only 2 bolts holding this transmission in place right now, and
Yeah, see, it's right there.
I'm gonna have to make some phone calls to validate. But I suspect, and just doing some quick searching on the internet, this truck twists like crazy. Like it, when it launches, it twists like crazy. Because I mean, it's a thin frame and it's only square to the middle of the frame right there. So we're thinking because of the sloppy motor mounts, which I knew these weren't fantastic, and the and just the twist of the frame, that maybe it's cracking the bell. So we might be out of the Dakota for drag week. Doesn't mean I can't take something else, and I've got to make some phone calls tomorrow, but I don't know. I've got to make some decisions here because it's already going to cost me $825 to get this transmission rebuilt. Then if I buy a SFI bell housing, that's another $300 and probably have them installed, so probably another $100, $200 in labor. You know, I'm sitting at $1,500, which is about $700 more than I was expecting to spend. So right now,
4L territory.
yeah, we're in 4L80E territory, which is something I want for the truck anyway. Which wouldn't take me getting a different converter and a dry shaft, which adds up as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to sleep. I'm gonna have to sleep on it, but
Yeah,
we've got problems. We've got.
let's go get rollers.
Yeah. So we're gonna go get lunch and get something to roll the transmission around on, and I don't know. We're just at a pause right now. So the good news is I fixed the tailgate for the truck, so you'll see that on another video here soon. But yeah, we'll shut it down and I'll get back to y'all in a little bit. What a disaster. Let's keep going. Here it goes. Three big old pieces gone. The converter stayed in place. Okay, options. Turbo 400, broken bell housing. Can still take this and go get it rebuilt, right? So it's still a good functional case in the trans. It just was getting a little soft under heavy throttle. But if I do that, I'm gonna have to pay for a SFI bell housing and have someone basically put it on. I'm sure I could probably put it on too. I just don't know if I'm gonna get it rebuilt. I might as well have them do the SFI bell housing at the same time. And if I do that, I'm gonna be into it for a little bit more money than I was anticipating, because I'm gonna go with a guy in Houston that is called Kyle's Transmissions. I've already talked to him. He was gonna do a bench job on this thing up to 700 horse for 850 bucks. So now that I have to buy a bill housing, that's going to add another $350 to it, and then depending on what it would charge for labor to install it, we're probably going to be into this thing for $1,400 to $1,500. It's a lot of money, and that's kind of 4L80E money. So that's option 2. Can I go out and find a 4L80E that's functional, that works? And hopefully with a converter, and put that into Dakota. And if I do that, at the minimum, I'm going to have to change the shifter plate out, which is like 40 bucks to change out the shifter plate. And what I'm talking about is my shifter in here is a 3-speed shifter, but they make a plate that you can just go ahead and put in, and then you can use it on a 4L80E. And then I'm going to have to get the drive shaft shortened. I'm not sure if the yoke is the same on a 4L80E, so I may even need a yoke, but that's not too big of a deal. The drive shaft being shortened is what's going to be expensive. I don't know what that's going to run. It's going to probably be over $300. So I have those two options. If I can find a cheap 4L80E that's functional and a converter for under $1,000, that's probably what I'm going to do, because then I'll have 4 speeds to ride on the freeway, keep that RPM down, and then I can look into getting that built, because that was the original plan, obviously, drag and drive vehicle. Or maybe take a plan B. Maybe take a plan B, but I got one plan B here and one plan B in the garage. This is not a plan B, although I love this car. I'm not taking this thing down the drag strip. It's not very fast, and I'm not putting this poor car through those paces. But I do have some other options of cars I can bring. This has a 456 gear. At the moment, it can't go. So if we look at changing the gear in the Nova back to the original 355 that was in it, might be able to take that. So those are options 1, 2, and 3. And the other option is maybe it doesn't work out, which I would hate to, I'd hate for that option to be a realistic option. And it might be. You never know, because I've got to get over surgery and everything else. So I don't really want to do that, especially since one of my best friends is coming along with us, and his wife, and it's going to be their first time. So I'm trying to avoid that option altogether. So let me know what you guys think I should do. Let me know what your plans and ideas are, and I'll take them into consideration, you know. So it stinks. These things happen. In one way, it's kind of a victory, because this is my first like horsepower induced carnage, I believe. And if I didn't tell you my theory on that, this truck, it twists bad on heavy launches. And the last time I had this dude out, I did one 6.4 60 foot with it, and with these sloppy motor mounts moving along, you know, because I can really move them, there's possible that there was enough torsion that it cracked the belt housing. The other possibility is the dowel pins were hanging up and not letting the bell come all the way forward. I don't think that's the issue, because we were still completely flat here and completely flat here. So I would have thought that pulling it forward would crack it that way, and you still have a gap here and here. So I don't think that's it. I really think it's got something to do with the torsional load on the trans. All right, well, those are my options. So again, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think I should do, and I'll take those into consideration. But I'm gonna shut it down. So as I always say, your time is more important than anything. So thank you guys for watching these little videos. Can't appreciate you enough. If you're new to the channel, or you've just been watching a few videos or something and you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. We really appreciate the support, and we couldn't be more thankful for all you guys. It's kind of funny that the Drag Week Dakota may not make drag week, but I don't know, we'll figure it out. We're not going to give up yet. We're going to keep trucking along. So I've got another video shot that I'm going to put out next week, and then tomorrow morning I'm getting surgery. So wish me luck on all that. It should be a routine procedure, and everything should be good. And the recovery is going to drive me nuts, because I'm not be able to get nothing done. So if you guys don't see a video each week for the next couple weeks, I apologize, but we're gonna get back on it. But my plan is to make some more videos. Anyway, I'm babbling enough. I'm gonna let y'all go. Until next time, you know the deal. Y'all be good.